Hey there, fellow Americans. Breaking news today is President Trump has just signed a major executive order that could change everything for millions of Social Security recipients across the nation. Are you one of the 70 million Americans who depend on Social Security benefits? Then you absolutely need to hear what I'm about to share with you. This could directly impact your monthly payments, eligibility requirements, and the future of the program itself. Before we dive into all the critical details of this executive order, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss these crucial updates about your benefits. Your financial security matters, and staying informed is the first step to protecting what you've worked your entire life for. So what exactly does this new executive order mean for Social Security recipients? Let's break it down. Just yesterday, President Trump signed an executive order aimed at what his administration calls streamlining and modernizing the Social Security Administration. The order focuses on several key areas that will affect SSA, SSI, and SSDI recipients in potentially significant ways. The administration claims this order will address long-standing issues within the system while securing its financial future. But what does that really mean for your monthly payments? The executive order primarily targets administrative efficiency and claims processing, with a stated goal of reducing the massive backlog of disability applications that has plagued the system for years. Currently, millions of Americans wait an average of 6 to 8 months for initial disability decisions, with appeals often stretching beyond a year or even 2. Have you or someone you know experienced these frustrating delays? The administration claims this order will cut that wait time dramatically by implementing new technology solutions and restructuring the review process. But here's what you really need to know. The order also includes provisions that could affect how benefit amounts are calculated moving forward. The language suggests a new approach to cost of living adjustments that could potentially result in more accurate inflation protection for beneficiaries. However, critics are already questioning whether these changes might actually result in smaller increases over time. With inflation continuing to eat away at fixed incomes, any change to COLA calculations could have profound effects on your purchasing power in the years ahead. Another critical component of the executive order addresses the funding crisis facing Social Security. As many of you know, current projections show the Social Security trust funds becoming depleted by the early 2030s. Without action, this could mean automatic benefit cuts of about 20 to 25% for all recipients. The executive order directs the Treasury Department and SSA to develop new strategies for extending the solvency of these trust funds. But will these strategies involve increasing taxes, raising the retirement age, or other measures that could impact current and future beneficiaries? The order also includes specific provisions for SSI recipients, who are among the most vulnerable Americans with extremely limited income and resources. President Trump's order calls for a comprehensive review of SSI eligibility requirements and resource limits, which haven't been meaningfully updated in decades. Could this finally mean an increase to the severely outdated asset limits that prevent many disabled Americans from saving more than $2,000 without losing benefits? Many advocacy groups have been pushing for this change for years. For SSDI recipients, the executive order includes a directive to revamp the continuing disability review process. These are the periodic reviews that determine whether someone still qualifies as disabled. The administration claims the changes will reduce fraud and ensure benefits go to those who truly need them. But disability advocates are concerned this could lead to more people losing benefits, even when their medical conditions haven't improved. If you're currently receiving SSDI, how might this affect your future eligibility? Let's talk about the implementation timeline. According to the executive order, the Social Security Administration has 90 days to present an action plan for these changes, with initial implementation scheduled to begin within 6 months. This means we could see the first effects of these new policies before the end of the year. Are you prepared for potential changes to your benefits that soon? Something that's particularly noteworthy about this executive order is its focus on technology. The SSA has long been criticized for operating on outdated computer systems, some dating back to the 1980s. The order allocates funding specifically for technological modernization, which could potentially speed up claims processing and make it easier for beneficiaries to access their information and communicate with the agency. Can you imagine being able to check the status of your application or appeal in real time, rather than waiting weeks for a letter in the mail? The executive order also addresses a critical issue that many Social Security advocates have been highlighting for years: the staffing crisis at SSA offices nationwide. Since 2010, SSA has lost over 13,000 employees while the number of beneficiaries has increased by millions. Field offices have closed, phone wait times have ballooned, and service has deteriorated. This order directs the Office of Personnel Management to create special hiring authorities to quickly bring on new employees to address these staffing shortages. Could this finally mean shorter wait times when you call or visit your local Social Security office? One controversial aspect of the executive order involves a new fraud detection system that will use artificial intelligence to identify potentially fraudulent claims. The administration insists this will protect the integrity of the program and ensure benefits go only to eligible recipients. But critics worry about the potential for false flags that could unfairly target legitimate beneficiaries. How would you feel about an AI system reviewing your benefits eligibility? For retirees specifically, the order includes a provision to examine the retirement earnings test, which reduces benefits for some early retirees who continue working. Many financial experts have criticized this test as outdated and a disincentive for seniors to remain in the workforce. Could this executive order finally eliminate or modify this controversial policy? The order also addresses the complicated process for applying for disability benefits. Currently, applicants must navigate a complex system that often requires legal assistance. The executive order directs the SSA to simplify the application process and make it more accessible to those without specialized knowledge or representation. Have you struggled with paperwork and confusing requirements when applying for benefits? This change could potentially make that process much more straightforward. What about Medicare? While this executive order focuses primarily on Social Security programs, there are implications for Medicare as well, particularly in how the programs coordinate benefits for those eligible for both. The order calls for better integration of systems to ensure that beneficiaries receive all the benefits they're entitled to without unnecessary complications or delays. I know many of you are wondering, will my current payment amount change right away? Based on the text of the executive order, there are no immediate changes to payment amounts. However, the changes to how cost of living adjustments are calculated could affect future increases. And depending on the outcome of the trust fund's solvency measures, there could be longer-term implications for benefit amounts. It's worth noting that executive orders have limitations. Many substantive changes to Social Security require congressional action, so some aspects of this order may serve more as policy directives than immediate changes. The administration will likely need to work with Congress to implement some of the more significant reforms outlined in the order. What's the reaction been so far? As expected, responses have fallen largely along political lines. Supporters of the administration praise the order as a necessary step to modernize the system and ensure its sustainability, while critics express concern about potential benefit cuts or eligibility restrictions hidden within the administrative language. Major advocacy groups for seniors and people with disabilities have issued statements saying they're carefully analyzing the order and will monitor its implementation closely. So what should you do now? First, stay informed. This is an evolving situation, and more details will emerge as the SSA develops its implementation plan. Second, if you're currently in the application or appeal process, continue following all deadlines and requirements. The existing rules remain in effect until officially changed. And third, consider contacting your congressional representatives to share your thoughts on these changes, as Congress will ultimately play a key role in any major Social Security reforms. Remember, Social Security isn't just a government program, it's your earned benefit, funded by your payroll contributions throughout your working life. You have every right to understand exactly how these changes might affect what you've earned. I'll be following this story closely and bringing you updates as more details emerge about the implementation of this executive order. What questions do you have about these changes? Are you concerned about how they might affect your benefits? Or are you hopeful that they'll improve the system? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this information helpful, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Navigating Social Security can be complicated, and my goal is to bring you the most up-to-date, accurate information to help you protect and maximize your benefits. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.